This is not about Caleb. This is not about patience with a young offense. This is about the Bears lining up a move that could punch the rest of the NFC North right in the mouth. I'm talking about real help for the pass rush, not a practice squad flyer. I'm talking about a defender who's already hit NFL quarterbacks, who's still young, who's hungry, and who might actually be available before the trade deadline. And yes, he's in our own division. Stay with me, because I'm going to walk you through why the Bears are even looking at this. What it would mean for the defense, what it says about where this team thinks it is right now, and the name that could walk into Hollis Hall and change the edge rotation the second he puts on a helmet. First, the timing. We're right up against the trade deadline on November 4. This is the moment when teams stop lying to themselves about what they are. The Bears' defense has been asked to carry a lot of weight, and now the injuries are piling up in the front seven. Dominique Robinson's out with a high ankle, Shemar Turner's done with an ACL, and that hits the rotation hard. You can see it in games. Early in the first half, the rush looks fast and violent. Late in the fourth, you can feel it slow. That's not effort. That's snap count. Guys are being asked to live on the field. And here's the truth. As good as Montez Sweat has been, you can't ask him to win every critical down by himself. Week after week, while offenses send double teams, chips, motion, help, everything. You want Caleb Williams to breathe and not feel like every drive is life or death. You want the secondary to stop covering for 4.5 seconds on 3rd and 8. Then you need someone off that opposite edge. You don't win in this league with just one closer. You need pairs. The front office knows that. That's why they're looking for a very specific profile. Not a 31-year-old rental. Not some, maybe he flashes, if we're lucky. The Bears are targeting a mid-20s pass rusher who's already producing the league. Who can actually hold an edge against the run on first down? And who is still cheap enough to fit the cap without blowing up the long-term plan? Basically, a guy you can trade for now, put on the field on Sunday, and realistically keep past this year. That's not common at the deadline. Usually what's available is older, expensive, or broken. Now let's talk about the situation that opened the door. Green Bay went and did something huge. They brought in Micah Parsons and paid him like the face of the defense. When you move that kind of capital for a pass rusher, he becomes your every down guy, no discussion. That instantly pushed other edge players in that building down the depth chart, including guys who had been starters. And when you take a 25-year-old edge who started last year, who put up production, and you suddenly tell him, you're rotational now, maybe 20 snaps, maybe 15, in a contract year, that guy's going to look around the league and say, who's going to actually let me play? That guy is Kingsley Enagbare. Let's talk football, not fantasy. Enagbare is 6'4", physical, plays in that 260 to 270 range, and he's not soft against the run. He's not a guy who just tries to run around tackles and hopes the quarterback steps up. He'll get his hands in the chest of the tackle, lock out, hold contain, and then flatten the finish. He's not the fastest edge in the league, but his first step is legit, and he converts speed to power. He put up 4.5 sacks last season, plus pressures, plus tackles for loss, and he did it starting games. That matters. He's not a maybe. He's proven he can do NFL work for 4 quarters. That type of profile is exactly what the Bears have been missing opposite Sweat. With Enagbare, you don't have to sub out on first down just to avoid getting gashed in the run game. You can keep your look honest. That's huge. When you can leave your edge on the field in early downs and late downs, you stop telegraphing your pressure packages. That's how you start dictating instead of reacting. That's when defensive coordinators get mean. Now think about what that does for the rest of the unit. You line him up across from Sweat, and suddenly offenses can't slide protection every single snap to. No, one. Quarterbacks stop feeling comfortable stepping up. Interior guys start getting cleaner one-on-ones. Linebackers start getting chances to shoot gaps. And the secondary, Jalen Johnson especially, benefits because the ball has to come out sooner. You pay corners because you believe in coverage, but even elite coverage breaks down if the QB has all day. Give that quarterback half a second less, and now you're talking about tip balls, bad decisions, game-changing turnovers. That's how you steal wins in November and December. Now let's get into the part that Bears fans love and Packers fans hate. The rivalry part. If the Bears pull this off, it's not just adding talent, it's sending a message. You will be bringing in a young edge rusher from Green Bay, a dude who has literally been in their meeting rooms, who knows their calls, who knows their adjustments, who has heard their protections. You're not only improving your roster, you're importing information from inside a division, rival in the middle of a season, where this division is there to be taken if someone gets hot. That is psychological. That is tone setting. You think Hollis Hall wouldn't react to that? You think the locker room wouldn't take that personal and feed off it? Because I do. Now, does Green Bay even consider this? That's the question. Normally, they'd never help Chicago, obviously. But look at their situation. They paid everything to land Parsons. They've got Rish and Gary. They're loaded in top-end edge snaps. Enagbare is in a contract year, and his role just got cut. If they don't see themselves paying him next spring, and if they think they can flip him now for draft stock instead of losing him for nothing, they at least pick up the phone. I'm not saying they're happy about it. I'm saying this is the kind of cold business call that actually happens at this point on the calendar. From the Bears side, the cost and the timing make sense. You're not chasing an old name out of desperation. You're targeting a 25-year-old you can keep. You're protecting your defense from burning out. You're helping Sweat today, and at the same time, you're helping Caleb. Because the fastest way to support a young QB is to make sure every single game doesn't turn into a shootout. You win ugly in this league by hitting the other team's quarterback. You protect your future by doing it without paying elite money twice at the same spot. Let me be straight. Kingsley Enagbare is not Micah Parsons. He's not going to show up and give you 15 sacks by himself. That's not what this is. This is about adding a legit NFL edge to a room that needs help now. This is about surviving the middle of the season without running Sweat into the ground. This is about being serious. You say you're building something real? Moves like this prove it. So here's what I want from you. Do you want the Bears to go get Enagbare from the Packers right now, even if it means sending a mid-round pick inside the division? Are you good with that if it means shoring up the pass rush and giving this defense a real second hammer off the edge? Or do you say no, keep the picks, ride it out, trust coaching, and wait for the draft? Tell me in the comments. I'm not saying this is guaranteed to happen. I'm saying this was on the table in a real way, and I want to know where you stand. My final take is this. The Bears need another edge, not next year, now. The injuries up front are real. The workload on Sweat is heavy, and the defense can't keep carrying the whole season without reinforcements. Green Bay, after reshaping their pass rush around Parsons, might be willing to move a player who deserves more snaps than he's getting. Enagbare checks the boxes. Young, productive, physical, hungry. If Chicago pulls this off, it wouldn't just be smart football. It would be a direct shot across the division. If you're with me and you want every update and every move as it's happening, make sure you're subscribed to Bears News Fan Report. Hit like, turn on alerts, and stay locked in. Because I'm going to keep bringing you exactly what's being discussed inside this division, not just the headlines.